Okay, talk to you later on. Hey, Dr. Jonny Bowden is here today. We're talking, well, coffee. Renee's talking free coffee, and you say coffee gets a bad rap sometimes.
I think it gets a terrible rap. It's a terrible health hazard, and I've been saying for years that I think it's overrated as a health hazard.
And look at Dr. Jonny here. I mean, the rogue nutritionist.
I drink every day. Right?
Yeah, you look pretty darn healthy to me.
Okay. The thing about coffee is it has a lot of antioxidants. For some people, it's actually the main source of antioxidants in their diet, and a lot of those antioxidants are the same thing that you find in dark cocoa, which we all know is such a
yeah. We've been hearing all about cocoa and chocolate and
Absolutely.
how good that is for you. Same stuff in coffee?
Very similar. Similar
okay.
flavonols, and they're very good for you. There's studies showing that a certain amount of coffee a day reduces the risk for diabetes, for gout, for Parkinson's. So there's a lot of benefits to it, but for some people, it makes you very jittery, and the caffeine can be an overload. And we start to add all this stuff like these creamers.
Yeah, let's talk about the bad stuff we put in and figure out if we can substitute something else that's better for us.
Exactly. Well, the first thing you want to get rid of are these flavored creamers, because this is pure trans fat. So you want to use regular half and half if you're going to use anything.
So half and half. I would say that a lot of people look at the half and half and they go, oh, that's cream. I don't want that. These other things, I'm certainly sure, are better for me.
No,
worse.
But they're not. They're way worse for you. And the cream is not bad, as I've talked about in my book, The Great Cholesterol Myth, and we've talked about also, you know, the fear of the little bit of fat in there is probably misguided. So if you're going to add anything, half and half is the best thing to do, not the flavored ones. Those are pure trans fats. Now, if you're going to sweeten, which I also don't think you really need to do, go with stevia, go with Truvia, which is erythritol, and if you want to use the real thing, raw honey is the best way to go. But don't use all of the blue packets and the yellow packets.
You're still concerned about what those may or may not do
we
to
don't
you.
know.
And
we
so
don't
you take
know.
That's
we
probably the most honest answer
we don't know.
that you're going to get from a nutritionist is to say, we don't really know, so why take the chance?
That's how I feel about it. I mean, these things have been out for a long time. There's safety data on them, but they're suspicious, and it's a very complained about ingredient to the FDA. I would go with the regular stuff, or try to learn to have it without sweetener.
Sure. Okay.
Now, what I want to talk about, though, is the negative side of this is that sometimes, and we talked about this, you get a caffeine jolt, or like you were saying in the morning, maybe a little acid
my stomach. That was me this morning. I thought, oh, I really would like a cup of coffee, but you know what? My stomach doesn't feel 100%. I don't want to mess with it.
But we want that little bit of caffeine, but in a nice way. We want the. So here's the thing I want to talk about today is we've been hearing a lot about green coffee beans. And there's a lot of products on the market that are green coffee bean extracts.
Right.
I'm a big believer. In general, I don't like extracts, and here's why. We take this one little ingredient out of a complex, like beta-carotene. There's 600 carotenoids. We took beta. So we take this one little thing, and I feel like nature puts this stuff together for a reason, and they work synergistically, so I'd rather use the whole green powder rather than the extract. Now, the beans, of course, they smell good, and they roast well, but the green coffee bean powder actually is by GoBean. This is the company that makes it, GoBean, have figured out how to extract this in a way that delivers the caffeine almost like a time release. So you get this kind of clear, calm focus. You get your attention. They've actually studied this at the Cleveland Clinic as a potential for helping people to focus better. You know, we have so much problem with that in children and stuff. And we're using it this way, and it works wonderfully, and it doesn't give you the jolt that you get from regular caffeine. GoBean, it's great stuff.
All right. Well, Dr. Jonny, it's always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Do we have anything we can drink here?
We can drink some coffee that I made from fresh beans, and I'm going to give you a little bit of this focus
thing. A little bit of the focus from GoBean.
Yes, sir, from GoBean. Not bad, right?
That's not bad at all.
Okay, good.
And my stomach feels fine.
All right.
Thanks, Doctor.
Good to see you.
It's good